So we're still in the underworld.
Pretty much.
So we got, okay, so hook, illook is one of those hither and thither. So I think you're going to say, there's no illook, but that's how I remember hook, illook is hither and thither. Please put that on your deal. Okay, so we're going to say, to this place, the whole crowd having been scattered, was rushing to the banks. Okay, meaning to the banks of the river Styx, right? Okay, then we got both mothers and men and bodies having finished, and then this verb takes the ablative. So having finished life. That's a nice way to say they died. They finished their life. Okay, so like, it's like bodies of, sorry, I forgot this part. Bodies of noble heroes having finished life. Boys and unwed girls and youths having been placed on the funeral pyres before the faces of their parents. Okay, let's stop here for just a minute. What do you think the effect of polysyndeton is in this passage? Anybody and everybody. Come on, come all, everybody dies. Polysyndeton is the repetition of conjunctions. Okay, like excessive conjunctions.
So, is that like polysyntheton in this passage? Where would we see that in the exam? Would it be multiple choice question and ask like a short answer?
They could say, name the figure of speech that occurs in lines 3 and 4.
But then like a short answer might ask like.
And then what is the effect of this thing? So that could either be multiple choice or short answer.
But that's what short answers kind of are. They'll ask. Like,
Uh-huh.
I asked.
Short answers are like the kind that we've been doing short answers on every test.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's like name two things
yeah.
that happened in
And cite the Latin that tells you. Or it'd be like, name the figure of speech and cite the Latin that shows the figure of speech and tell what effect it is. Okay, so this next part is this qua multa is like a phrase that means as many as. This is kind of a nice, I don't know, metaphor. As many as the leaves having fallen. Like fall in the woods. At the first cold of autumn. So how many leaves is that? Are there a few leaves or many leaves? Many leaves, right? Well, we got like a PPP, and we got two falls there. Like fall, having fallen, fall. Okay. Or as many as the birds who, what do birds do? Birds flock together, as many as the birds flock to the land from the deep gulf. When the cold year puts them to flight. Okay, so look, this is really fugare, which is to put to flight, rather than, it's not, fugio, fugare, which means to flee. Okay, so that's why it's put to flight. So when the cold year puts them to flight across the sea, and sends them, which takes the dative, to sunny lands. Okay, so enough with that alliteration. Now we're just going to talk about them. So, they were standing there begging and it says to put an ut here, like for the purpose of, so they were standing there begging to be the first to cross the course. And they were holding out their hands with a love of the farther bank. Okay, so this is an example of an objective genitive. So it's like a love of what? Like love of country. We haven't seen one of those in a while.
Would we likely see that on the AP exam?
I think that's one of those, you know how they give you that list of what you have to know, the grammar things you have to be able to identify? I'm pretty sure objective genitive is one of them. But the sad ship captain, the sad ferryman receives now these, now those. So in other words, he's like taking them over as fast as he can, right? He's pedaling that boat. Okay, so it might ask us, who is the Nawita? And what you would say, Charon. Okay, but or is asked and. Of course, it doesn't tell me words I don't know. It's but. Okay. So, but he keeps off others having been removed far off from the sand. So in other words, some people he says, no, I'm not taking you right now. Why would he say, no, I'm not taking you right now?
It's not like dead yet?
Well, yeah, they haven't been like released or whatever.
Oh, like rituals and such.
Yeah, so there's like a bunch of people like wandering the banks that won't get to cross according to Aeneas and according to whatever. Okay, so we got Aeneas having one, I guess we'd say four Aeneas having wondered. Of course, that's what he does. And having been moved by the commotion, or by the tumult, says, then we got an imperative, right? So he says, tell me, O maiden, what gathering well, I don't know, that doesn't make any sense to me. So it's like what the gathering to this stream means. Okay, so the one thing we didn't talk about yesterday, the Virgo is the Sibyl. Okay, so like one of the prophecies after he left Sicily was that in order to get to the underworld, he had to go see this lady named the Sibyl. Okay, and the Sibyl were like priestess of Apollo. Okay, and there were like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them in the ancient world, like one Delphi, one at, anyway. But the one that Aeneas went to see was this place called Cumae. And it's like, Cumae is like near kind of Pompeii. Okay? And so the Sibyl was the one that told him he had to go grab the golden branch in order to get passage to the underworld. Okay? Very important character, the Sibyl. I've been to visit the Sibyl. Frightening. So they might ask you who the Virgo was, and so you would need to know that he went with the Sibyl to the underworld. So she was like his guide.
Was she not supposed to do that?
Yeah, no, that's what she does. That's her. That's her deal. Okay, or what do the spirits seek? Or by what distinction do these souls leave the banks? Comma, like those souls like sweep over sweep over the blue deep with their oars.